Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in another Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the best rotation that you guys need to use every single game that I guarantee you is going to allow you to get the most amount of kills, the most amount of wins, and also just have the most amount of success every single fight. And for a lot of reasons, I'm fully going to go into all those reasons in this video, but this is a rotation that you guys need to use, or at least greatly consider. I think it can really help you guys out a ton when it comes to just having better overall games in Fortnite. And before we get into the video, I have a weekly V-Buck giveaway. I'm going to be giving away V-Bucks every single Friday, and if you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you guys need to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and as well subscribe to my second channel. I post a ton of really good content on there, so make sure you guys do subscribe. Turn on my post notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And if you guys would like to support me as a creator in the item shop, all you have to do is go over to the item shop, go into the bottom right hand corner, support a creator, and type in my code. My code is Young Humor. Type it in and you guys will have me support it as a creator. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so I want to be talking about my go-to rotation and really explain why I go to the locations that I do, and really explain exactly why I do it, because I think that's really important. And I think this is probably one of the biggest reasons why I'm able to get so many kills, find so many players, have the best loot, and overall just win so many games back to back to back, just because I follow this rotation and it works very well all the time. And even if you don't want to play as aggressive as I do, there's definitely a lot of ways around it where you can play a little bit more passive, focus on more getting loot, and challenge a little bit less. But still, this rotation is going to be one of the best rotations in this game when it comes to just overall being a lot better and just having better games. So I would say about 90% of my games I end up landing at Paradise Palms, and the reason being, I just really like the location. I think there's a lot of loot to be found there. A decent amount of people go there depending on the bus route. Sometimes there's going to be so many teams, it's going to be super crowded, and sometimes it can only be like one or two teams. But the main reason why it's really good, you can get a few kills there, have really good loot, and then you can have the rifts that are nearby and you can rotate to the next location. But the two locations that I land at pretty much every single game are going to be Paradise Palms or Pleasant Park. Those two locations specifically because both those locations have rifts nearby, and which I can use to easily rotate to the next location. So even if I don't run into a lot of players, maybe only get like one or two players, I can easily rotate very fast and still in that game easily come off with 15, 16, even 20 kills in a lot of cases, just because of how fast I can rotate from one place to the next place. So those two locations, for those reasons, are going to be my go-to places to land. And I know a lot of you guys might play a little bit more passive, and there might be other locations that you guys like to land at when it comes to landing a little bit slower, but I like to play a little bit more aggressive and go for kills. And even if you don't want to go for a lot of kills and you still want to go to those locations, I mean, really all you have to do, the best way to go about it, is just, if one of those locations is one of the last drops off the bus, then that could be an easy way to go to those locations and really not have to fight a lot of players, because there really is a lot of loot. And as well, a good amount of players land there, and you can easily rotate off of that location very fast. So even if people don't land there, you can rotate fast and still drop a lot of kills in that game. And I even have plenty of gameplays on my channel you guys have seen. I think in this game I only came out with spawn with like 3 kills, and I still end up dropping about 15. So 15 kills is still a decent amount of kills. It's not like a crazy like 20 or 30 kill game, but still a lot of kills for a lot of players. And I didn't get a lot of kills off spawn, so that's super important. And the next place I rotate, I always rotate over to Megamall, or used to be called Retail. And the reason being, it's super close, and off that location as well, you have a bunch of slipstreams in which you can rotate over to Salty like I did, or over to the grandma house nearby, which is the house right outside of Salty. Or that's what I just call it. I don't know what the proper name for it is, but I usually rotate over there. But the reason I go Megamall is because there's always going to be one team, maybe even two left over, which you can easily get more kills off. So you can have a few kills off spawn, get a few kills in Megamall, and then you have the slipstreams to rotate over to Salty, or either the house, or even over to Dusty if you want, to easily pick off another team. And while I'm picking off these teams, I'm probably going to have around 7 kills-ish, maybe 6, possibly give or take a little bit more or a little bit less. But either way, more than likely I'm going to have a launch pad, so even if I go to Salty Springs or I go over to Dusty Divot, I can use the launch pad to immediately go to another slipstream, which I can use to rotate around the map even quicker and fight the next team. Unfortunately, in this game we didn't have a launch pad, so we had to run all the way over to Loot Lake by ourselves, which is still fine. We're still able to rotate fast. We had a lot of good rotations at the beginning, so we're still able to pick off a lot of kills, have a ton of good loot. I have really good loot right now. I have a combat shotgun, a heavy sniper, 4 minis, 5 bandages, a assault rifle, and I also have a ton of materials just off of 7 kills alone. So as you can see, you really don't have to spend a lot of time farming, a lot of time getting a bunch of really good loot, because if you pick off enough players, the people are going to be looting for you. Because trust me, if you go to Pleasant Park or you go to Paradise Palms, maybe you get like 1 or 2 kills there, and you rotate over to Megamall, and say there's only one team that goes Megamall, the second you kill them, you're going to be picking up so many materials, you're going to be picking up so many HP, just because it was one of the only teams there, and they're going to have all the good loot. So you're going to have the good shotgun, the good assault rifle, a lot of times a scar, traps, launch pads. So you're going to get stacked right off of that second team, which is going to make it super easy going into the third and fourth team, because you're going to have all of that loot to kind of back up on. And right around now, it's kind of like the mid to sort of late stages of the game. And in this place, it really depends on the circle, because now it really depends on where the circle is going and where you have to rotate from there. Usually, if you stay around Dusty Divot, and that's why I rotate to it pretty much last or third, is because a lot of times it's in the middle, so the circle is always going to be around that area. You don't have to worry about rotating the zone. So it's not like landing at Dusty Divot, you try to go over to Megamall, and then you have to go right back to Dusty Divot, even though there's nobody there, just because where the zone is. So that's how you can get screwed over and not get a lot of kills and not have the best loot. So you always want to go to one of those corner places and kind of work your way in very quickly. That's usually the best way that I've seen, and the best success that I've had is by doing that rotation. And besides, when you're in the middle of the game, most of the time if you're around the middle of the map, that's where the most people are going to be, because all the people that went to the outside parts of the map, say they went to Junk Junction, Haunted Hills, or even Polar Peak, anywhere around the far edges of the map, by the middle of the game, the zone's going to push them in, so pretty much everyone's going to be fighting in the middle, so you're going to have a lot of kills on the outside of the map, and the second you're already in the middle, the zone comes in, and there's going to be a lot more people coming in, so you're going to have pretty much the best rotation you can possibly have, just because you got as many kills as you possibly can around the people at the edge of the map. You rotated in, got a few more kills, and now you maybe have like 20 people left in the game, and everyone's going to be trying to rush towards the middle of the map to fight other players. And at this point, if you want to have a good game, you really just have to play a lot more aggressive, because people typically later in games play a lot slower. They're usually like boxed up, and they play super slow. So that's why if you can get a good amount of kills at the beginning, you can always have a really good game. And even if you don't have a lot of kills at the beginning, you can still get a lot of kills by the end of the game. You definitely have to play a lot more aggressive, because a lot of people towards the end of the game, yeah, there's going to be a lot less players, but the thing is, a lot of people play way more passive, and then you have people getting rebooted. But people play more passive. If you want to, you can play super aggressive, and you can pick off pretty much almost everybody or the rest of the lobby just by playing really quickly. And if you play the right way throughout the entirety of the game, you're going to be pretty stacked on loot. So when you're rushing the teams at the end, which I typically do, if you want to play a little bit slower and a little bit more conservative, it might be a little bit better when it comes to getting wins. And I don't fall short with that. I think that works the best. But for me, I like to go for a lot of kills. I really don't want to upload like a 7-kill gameplay. So I'm going for a lot of higher kill games. So I'm going to be playing a little bit more aggressive than I probably should. So as long as I play my cards right, I should be straight, because when I go into the early game to mid game, that's where I'm picking off the loot, all the materials. So when I'm going into the end of the game, I'm going to be completely stacked. I'm going to have a lot of kills, so I'm going to be used to fighting a lot of players in that game. So I'm going to have a good feel of the players that I'm going against, and as well, I'm going to have a ton of materials probably maxed out. I'm going to have max HP, and as well a ton of extra loot when it comes to launch pads. If I ever need to run away from a situation, or if I want to challenge people a lot quicker, having a lot of launch pads is a really good idea. And in order to do that, really the best way, I don't find a lot of launch pads, but other people do. So as long as I get kills on them, more than likely I'm going to be completely stacked on launch pads. And a lot of times I usually have like 4 or 5, sometimes even 6 or more in the middle of the game, which even allows me to rotate a little bit further away from like slipstreams and stuff like that, where I can rotate fast because I have enough launch pads to do so. Because you never really want to get caught in a part of the map where you can't rotate, or have anything that you can move fast in, because that's really going to slow you down and not going to allow you to get a lot of kills very quickly. And with that being said, that's a wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked, make sure you guys do drop a like on the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my notifications so you guys can get notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.